So this one's going to be fun. So for those of you that don't know, I live streamed the E3 event, and that's over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Sheepsidian. I'm over there regularly now, or as regular as possible, playing video games. So head on over there, give me a follow, hit notifications so that you know when I go live. And when I do, just pull up and let's shit talk. I have no problem shit talking. Bring it. At any rate, I live streamed E3 and had a couple of people there. We were just having fun, going over everything that was being announced. And we had more fun chatting with each other than we did watching the event, which is not a good thing. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to kind of shotgun all of the scores that I gave everything. It's from my personal stance. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me, but this is where I stand with these. These are all, opinionated, subjective, if you want to be that way. The way that I score games on a scale from 1 to 10, if you have like an 8 or above, I'm interested. If you have a 7, it's appealing. A 6 is like, it's coherent, I guess you can say. A 5 is you could do way better. A 4 is let's just not even. A 3 is stop. A 2 is just, this is a waste of time. And, it just further goes down the line from there. And once you hit the negatives, you're pissing me off. Hell, you're pissing me off at 4, to be honest. So I wrote down as many games as I could remember, or whatever they announced, and gave everything a score. I like numbers, so bear with me. It's a lot of them. And if there's something up here that I didn't mention, either A, I missed it, or B, I didn't care to go look for it. Because this year's E3 was so terrible. And it was only saved by Nintendo. But let's run through these numbers real quick, all right? Rainbow Six Extraction, 7.5 out of 10. Rocksmith Plus, 4 out of 10. Riders Republic, 7 out of 10. Turtles in Brawlhalla, 6 out of 10. Watch Dogs Legion, Bloodline, 7 out of 10. Trackmania, 7 out of 10. For Honor, 7 out of 10. Far Cry 6, 5 out of 10. Just Dance 2022, 1 out of 10. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, 6 out of 10. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, 8 out of 10. Now over at Gearbox we had Homeworld, 6 out of 10. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, 7 out of 10. Tribes of Midgard, 7 out of 10. The Godfall expansion, 8 out of 10. Xbox's event, I gave Starfield a 6.5 out of 10. Stalker 2, 7.5 out of 10. Back 4 Blood, 7 out of 10. Contraband, 5 out of 10. Sea of Thieves, 6 out of 10. Yakuza, I think that was the English dub that they're announcing, 7 out of 10. Battlefield 2042, 7 out of 10. 12 Minutes, 7 out of 10. Psychonauts 2, 7.5 out of 10. Fallout 76, Steel Reign in the Pit expansions, 4 out of 10. Elder Scrolls Online event, 7 out of 10. Or expansion, whatever. Anyway. Hades, 6 out of 10. Somerville, 4 out of 10. Halo Infinite, 7 out of 10. Diablo 2, 5 out of 10. Plague Tale Requiem, 5 out of 10. Slime Rancher 2, 6.5 out of 10. Atomic Heart, 6 out of 10. Replaced, 7 out of 10. Grounded, 6 out of 10. Eiyuden Chronicle, I think that was both those games, 1 and 2. I don't know. They look interesting. 7 out of 10. The Ascent, 6 out of 10. Age of Empires 4, 5 out of 10. Outer Worlds 2, 6 out of 10. Flight Simulator, 4 out of 10. Forza Horizon 5, 6 out of 10. Redfall, 7 out of 10. With the Squeenix event, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, 7 out of 10. Final Fantasy 1 through 6. I wrote down here 6 out of 10, but I'm just gonna go ahead and change that to a 4 out of 10 because I don't play games on mobile. Legend of Mana, 8 out of 10. Was that Legend of Mana or Secret of Mana? Whichever one they announced, 8 out of 10. I like the Mana series. The Avengers expansion, I don't care. Give me more content, not a new character to run around a new stage like they did with Hawkeye. Man, give a 6.5 out of 10. That Hitman, 6.5 out of 10. Nier, 5 out of 10. Mobile Showcase, because I wasn't going to write all those things down, 6 out of 10. Babylon's Fall, 7 out of 10. Life is Strange, 3 out of 10. Endwalker, that Final Fantasy XIV expansion, 6 out of 10. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, 7.5 out of 10. With PC, we have Naraka Blade Point, 5.5 out of 10. Dodgeball Academia, 2 out of 10. Chivalry 2, 6.5 out of 10. Ramen, 4 out of 10. Dying Light 2, 6 out of 10. Humankind, 4 out of 10. They Always Run, 8 out of 10. Orcs Must Die 3, 5 out of 10. Vampire the Masquerade, 5 out of 10. Gigabash, 6.5 out of 10. Lemnis Gate, 7.5 out of 10. Next Space Rebels, 4 out of 10. War Tales, 6 out of 10. Ixion, 3 out of 10. Far Changing Tides, 5 out of 10. Chaos Gate, 6.5 out of 10. Lakeburg Legacies, -2 out of 10. Some of these I forgot I wrote down as negative numbers. Whew. Killing Floor 2, 6.5 out of 10. Mech Warriors 5, 8 out of 10. Silt, 7 out of 10. Hello Neighbor 2, 5 out of 10. Jurassic World Evolution 2, 6 out of 10. Gloomwood, 6 out of 10. Solstice, 6 out of 10. Pioneer, 6 out of 10. EVE Online, 4 out of 10. Lumberhill, 6.5 out of 10. Tinykin, 6.5 out of 10. Sacrifice, 8 out of 10. Icarus, 6.5 out of 10. The Wandering Village, 6 out of 10. Death Trash. Death Trash? The fuck was Death Trash? What is Death Trash? I know what Death Trash is. 4 out of 10. Wake Up Sleeper, -1 out of 10. With future games, you got Instinction, 5.5 out of 10. Grow, Song of the Evertree, 5 out of 10. Enlisted, which is actually really interesting looking. I might scoop that up. 7.5 out of 10. With Capcom, Reverse, 6.5 out of 10. Monster Hunter Stories, 3 out of 10. Monster Hunter Rise, 7 out of 10. Ace Attorney Chronicles, -1 out of 10. With Nintendo, or should I say Wintendo, Kazuya and Smash Brothers, 8 out of 10. Worms Rumble, 6 out of 10. 2 Point Campus, 4 out of 10. Super Monkey Ball, 7 out of 10. Mario Party Superstars, 7.5 out of 10. Metroid Dread, 9 out of 10. Cruisin' Blast, 7.5 out of 10. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, 6 out of 10. Mario Golf Super Rush, 8 out of 10. WarioWare Get It Together, 8 out of 10. Shin Megami Tensei 5, 7.5 out of 10. Danganronpa, 5 out of 10. Fatal Frame, 5.5 out of 10. Doom Eternal, 7 out of 10. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, 7 out of 10. Strange Brigade, 7 out of 10. Advance Wars, 8 out of 10. Hyrule Warriors Expansion, 8.5 out of 10. Game & Watch Zelda Edition, 7 out of 10. Breath of the Wild 2, very biased 9 out of 10. A very biased 9 out of 10. And I am not ashamed. Overall, E3 this year was absolutely terrible. Ultimately, my takeaways are this. E3 was not good. E3 was very not good. There was way more talk on everything that wasn't video games than there was video games. And they announced a lot of games that nobody cares about. Like, again, I'm live streaming the event. I'm clicking between OBS and the E3 Twitch, kind of looking at my chat and the E3 chat. And I'm just seeing so many resident sleepers flying through the E3 chat through most of what was going on. Like, here's the thing. Ubisoft, just to jump into it, Ubisoft started off with their presentation. I think they were like an hour in talking about nothing that had anything to. Well, I mean, they had some stuff to do with like video games or whatever, but a lot of this stuff was just like waiting. It was like they had like these loading screen looking things. Like, okay, we got whoever this is from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because I don't care like at all. So I didn't pick up Origins. I didn't pick up Odyssey. I didn't pick up Valhalla. I just don't care. Like, they had walking simulator going on. They had somebody sitting on a drone from Watch Dogs Legion. That shit was happening. Somebody was driving a car, flying planes and stuff. And it's just like, these are waiting screens. This is time that people didn't have to waste sitting here doing nothing. People are literally sitting here doing nothing. Matter of fact, I turned it into a game. With my stream, I said, look, every time they pop up with one of these like waiting screens where it's just like something flying through the air or someone walking or someone driving a car or something like that, I'm just going to do 20 push-ups. I did like, I think I counted like 120, 130 not 130, but 140 push-ups somewhere around there. I did over 100, nonetheless. I did over 100, and Ubisoft hadn't even started their event yet. That's the sad part. You are wasting the gamers' time. It's all digital. How do you waste time digitally? How? How, Sway? What they could have done with E3 this year, because it's all digital, is they could have wrapped the entire event up in 2 days. I get where it wouldn't be, I guess, financially beneficial or whatever, but it's digital. Nobody wants to sit in front of their computer or on their phone or on their tablets or whatever for something they're not physically at. Essentially, they're at home doing other things, or they're out at work doing other things. So what they were doing was wasting everyone's time. It was not necessary to stretch every event out over these days. Like, they had like 2 events a day, and each event took up like the presentations themselves could have been wrapped up in like 30 minutes each, 30, 40 minutes each. Like, there was nothing interesting going. And then there was that one, what was it? I think the Future Games, right? It was the Future Games event. It was hosted by like Laura Bailey and Troy Baker. Like, anybody cared about any of the games they were talking about. Like, the only reason I talked about a couple of games that they were talking about with Future Games event is because the rest of it was so fucking droning. Like, I'm sitting here in the stream, falling the fuck asleep. It was so boring. It was boring. And then you had Take-Two's presentation where it was just basically a fucking board meeting. You had people, you're talking about, oh, Take-Two event, Take-Two presentation, stuff like that. It was a Zoom call for some hours or whatever, like an hour and a half or 2 hours or some shit. Like, nobody wants to sit through you guys talking about nothing. People did, unfortunately, but like, nobody cares about that. The thing that made a lot of people upset with E3 this year is that everyone is at home, essentially. Everyone is at home, so it's just a big time waster to have these loading screens, to have people, these E3 announcers and whatnot, just going on about nothing. Nobody cares about this stuff. Let's overhype the games that no one in the chat cares about. And then they had this whole thing where it's like, I guess this is impromptu, but Greg Miller's out here like talking about, okay, we have to, like, as opposed to like negativity, let's do positivity and stuff like that. And it's like, and will you tell people to do shit? Like, will you tell people let's stop being negative and stuff like that? They become even more negative. Humans don't function like anime characters. They don't just agree on a drop of a hat. You have to give them a reason to stop being negative. And that obviously wasn't most of E3. I would say Nintendo came through at the bottom of the fucking ninth, bases loaded with strikeout after strikeout, pulled up and said, all right, home run, got us some points, but not enough to win everybody over. E3 ultimately was a flop this year. Like, it wasn't anything special last year, but this year was especially bad. Like, Nintendo admitted E3, if not for Nintendo, E3 would lose so many views for next year. But again, this is the one of the main reasons why people are sitting here like, yo, Nintendo could have just stepped aside and did their whole like they could have just had a Nintendo Direct like in July, and it would have had people way more hyped. Like, people would be over here looking at E3 like, yeah, I'm probably never gonna watch E3 again in my life. I'm just probably gonna catch the Cliff Notes and just never attend again, ever. Fuck it. Keep your trash ass swag, whatever. Who cares? But Nintendo, good on Nintendo. Good on Nintendo. Round of applause for Nintendo, because they actually give a fuck about gamers. They actually care. Again, Japan coming through, saving a fucking day. You know what else they saved the day in? Yes, I'm gonna bring them in. Comics. Because manga is definitely saving the comics market. Like, if not for manga, comics would be like, right? They'd be packing up their boxes on their way out the door, basically. But nonetheless, Japan they're saving media with manga, anime, and video games because they actually give a fuck. Here's a game we've been working on, and we promise it will be fun. That's it. E3, do better. Like they wasted people's time. That's what made people mad the most. Like, it's not so much the whole pushing diversity and representation and shit like that. It's got nothing to do with that. It's that you wasted people's time. People sat at their computers practically for the entirety of the sun's rise and fall for like 3-4 days. Not consecutively, but like people watched this stuff. Like, people showed up for the events that they wanted to. I streamed damn near every event from Ubisoft to Namco. And oh man, I'm gonna do it next year. I'm gonna cover it next year. But ultimately, this is so fucking ridiculous. I don't know if I can say it in like more times than I currently say. Like, I had almost no interest in most of the games. That's not good. Like, you can pull some diamonds in the rough out, right? Like, Xbox had a couple of games I was like, okay, we'll see what this can do. PC had a couple of games I was like, all right, we'll see what we can do with this. Square Enix had like one. Nintendo had a bunch. Like, but ultimately, you just holy shit. I don't know if I can say it enough. So I'll just say it off camera or off mic or whatever, because I'd be wasting everybody's time by saying the same thing over and over and over again. I'd start to sound like E3. So I'm going to just wrap it up here. E3 was trash. Thank you, Nintendo. I'll be looking forward to your games. And whatever other games they got coming out that I took an interest in. Nonetheless, if you enjoy this, go ahead and run down the Susan Wiki checklist. That'd be the like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And look forward to the next video. Until then, you stay safe. It's real in these streets. And take it easy.